I'm glad I went out and
Um,
looked at that because they dropped off my husband's Christmas gift too. Amazon did.
you know what? They be playing with them Christmas gifts. You know what time of year it is. Why would you drop that like right in front the door in a box that's labeled?
That's
My
what I'm like.
husband bought
That
me
particular gift, I'm glad I went.
my husband bought me what was that little ballerina bar because I was doing I can't even remember the name of the program on Beachbody. But he bought me the bar for Christmas. And I went out to get, I think, Amazon packages, and the box was labeled. So I'm outside the house dancing. And he's mad because they sent it in a box that was marked. That was like, because it happened so fast. I had mentioned it like maybe a day or two before, and
Let
boom,
me
it was
tell
there.
you, he is
I
the
was like,
man.
oh, yeah. I was like, yeah,
He is
I just
the
said this.
man. I love when
They
you
ruined
talk
it.
about him on your page.
Oh, we're
I
funny, aren't we?
yes, but I'm like y'all like you could tell that y'all
So
like each other.
I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry.
pull out the perfect for me pages. Um, and I'm gonna do my best to show them to the camera. So what I
People
do
gonna be like,
is
hold up. They're gonna be pausing and be like, hold up, what that say?
so the stickers are for the universe they belong to. So since this is a legally bound spinoff, it has this sticker.
Oh my
I
god, you're
think
so organized.
I think the paranormal books have blue stickers. I know the ones for the website exclusives have silver ones. So this is like a pink sticker.
Oh,
Now at the top, I tell you what kind of series it is. Um, it's a perfect for me series. These books are 85K and higher word count. It's a completion of 5 books, interracial, multi cultural series written in first person present. POV or first person altern.
I got
each
it.
each book has a Caucasian male and female of African American descent or multicultural mix. The book titles are Ideal for Me, Book 2, Made for Me, Book 3, Created for Me, Book 4, Epitome of Me, Book 5.
Wow.
Think of
It's a heavy.
Forever My Girl meets Rockstar.
Oh, I love that.
Um, and then I give a series pitch so that I know what the series is going on in the series.
Right.
I give a series description, and then each book gets a description. And I put the tropes for each book, the occupations of the main characters, and that continues for
Wow.
that particular series. And
That
that's
is
why this book is
so
so thick.
organized. I mean, that thing is like a manual size. Like
I
the
just
one you
invited people to
find.
break in my house like misery. We fight. Don't do it. We got baseball bats and everything. I will cut you up. Don't
Listen,
even think about
me,
it.
I'm like, you know what? You can take one of that kids before you take that laptop with that books in it.
Oh my god!
We'll
Look, I,
negotiate.
I was walking around with one of my laptops yesterday, and I kind of toppled over, and I'm like,
Did your heart stop?
no, but I'm holding that laptop
I
like
know
this,
that's
like
right. I will bust
we
at
gonna
least
break a
that
leg or
time.
something, but this laptop could be okay.
I will break a hip, but this laptop, no.
Don't ever think that, oh, she went on vacation. We can steal laptops. No, they travel
No,
with
they
on my person.
I went where did I go? I think I went to it's either the doctor's office. I went somewhere. I went to go get my hair done. And my father was like, and I was like, yeah, I'm taking my laptop because I can work. He's like, why? Why are you taking your laptop to get your hair done? I'm like, because I can work while
Because it's
I'm waiting
time.
on there. And what do
Yeah,
you mean?
they don't respect our time. They don't
That's
respect
right.
our time, so
I'm
we
like
have to have something with
maximizing
us.
my time. Like I can first of all, I'm going to a black hairdresser. I'm gonna sit there for like 2 hours. No, lying, I did. And
Sis
before
gonna eat. Oh, I know you did. She
yeah,
gonna eat. She gonna go pick up the kids.
there's gonna be
She gonna
three
call
people
somebody
ahead
and
of
argue.
But you know when they tell you to come at 11, they already done told like 2 other people to come at 10:45, and they're already there, and you gotta wait till they finish or get a break before she get on you. So I'm like, I know how
And
this
don't be
go.
related to them because you'll
Oh,
be there after
no.
closing.
That's right, because you are expendable. But the thing is,
Yes.
it's like when you find someone who does your hair right in the way that you're willing to do it, but and that's how I am.
Let's see
But,
how much we're alike. Are you picky about who plays in your hair?
oh,
Like,
absolutely.
I'm so picky.
Oh,
Like, if you are
absolutely.
having a bad day and I see all that energy, you are not touching my
Oh,
head.
no, 'cause I'm like, it transfers.
Yes, yes. I'm an empath, you're not putting that on me, no boo. Next.
And the reason, because that has happened to me before. That has happened to me before, and I ended up coming out with, like, I went in with long hair, came out with, like, a Halle Berry haircut that I did not ask for. No lie, my mother went up in that shop and she just, like, and from my mother was so laid back, so sweet, but that day, she went up in there like Sophia. She was like, she went, "Did you see what you did to her?" She was so mad.
Oh
So
my
I'm like, from
god.
then on, if I feel like your whole mood is negative, been there, done that. You can't touch my hair. I'll come back. I'll just come back. But
I haven't
luckily,
cut my hair
my
in 5
hairdressers,
years because I can't find I don't have anybody. I could use a trim. I really could use somebody to
yeah,
blow it out and even it off, but
it's hard. You gotta find somebody you trust. It's like that's why, like, when I read books, like, with Black women and their hair, like, the hair care isn't represented well or realistically, like, because there's some things just, like, realistically, you're gonna lose me. You're gonna lose me because, like, to me, like, our hair is like that it's one of the most important things for us, and it doesn't matter what style it is, it's like it's our crown, like,
doesn't matter if it's mine, if I bought it,
no,
if it's
no, it does
it
not
all
matter.
has to be right.
That's
All
right,
of it
that's
has to be
right.
right.
So if you're writing and and I'm just talking to, my Caucasian sisters. If you're writing a Black woman, you need to get that right. You better hit up your Black friend and ask her about the hair care, because that's the first thing we gonna be like, that ain't right. You ain't
She
sleep
should have
no
had a
sleep
bonnet.
yet. That's right.
She wasn't jumping in that pool. She's on vacation. She should have had braids. Matter of
Yeah.
fact
Did she get in the
matter of fact,
pool?
the last book I did, Professor Jones, I she showed me herself. The character showed me herself a specific way. Her hair was out and she had a streak of gray in her bangs.
Yeah.
And they on an island on a vacation. And I'm like, honey, why your hair not in braids? She was like, mm-mm.
That's
She was like,
right.
her sister rushed her last minute to take the trip. She forced her into it so she didn't have time to get her hair
That's right.
braided.
You better explain
And
it.
yes, we did. We went back into medicine. Was like, oh, let's explain why your hair is not because you on the beach and you don't have
And
braids
you
and you
got
on
you going
vacation.
you
This
gonna
don't
get
make
in the
sense.
water. Ain't nobody trying to do hair over and over again after you
On
get out of
vacation.
pool or shower or whatever. It need to be braided up. It need to be some you or natural. Like you need to explain it. You need to-
Yeah. And then there are certain things, routines that we go through for
yes,
certain stuff. Like, for those
moisturize.
of us who are like me who wear wigs, they're
Yes,
called units. That's what we're talking about.
that's right.
They're units. So when you have a unit, a lace front unit, most likely,
Yes, yes. Know what the
your
late.
hair isn't out underneath. It isn't just wild. Now I know some
Right.
people are very talented who are able to put dreads underneath a unit and it'll lay like
Yeah, but
natural hair.
you
But most
I mean,
times we're twisting or braiding or doing something
yes,
so that it lays
lays flat. So it don't look like a helmet. So
so I don't think that we take this off and it just pops out like what was it? Bob what was not SpongeBob, the one from my brain from Simpsons, The Simpsons. What was his
oh,
name?
Marge
No,
Simpson.
not Marge or Marge. It could be Marge or the other dude, the clown duty.
Oh,
What
oh,
was his
oh,
name?
oh God. If you had said it, oh
Right?
God. It's something Bob, but it is Sideshow Bob. Sideshow Bob.
Sideshow Bob.
I was about to Google it. That's gonna bug me if I don't remember that.
So we're not pulling the wig off and then hair is going poof.
Yeah,
And
no, no.
and you know something? The reason why I stopped processing my hair and I haven't cut it in about 5, 6 years, it was another review. Sometimes I do fall down the pit of reading reviews. It's not often, but sometimes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was offended by this review because the reviewer said that I was writing women of color who weren't black and
Oh
didn't have
my
short
God.
nappy hair like me, like me. When the did you see my hair to tell me that I have short nappy? What are you talking
Oh,
about?
she said
Like,
not like you personally?
yeah, that I need to. She was generalizing it, and then she made it personal that I should be writing characters like me who have short nappy hair. And I'm like,
You don't know what's going on
first
in
of
here.
all, first of all, and black women like me. I was offended by this because she generalized
Yeah,
and honey, you don't know who I am. You
yeah,
don't know where my family's from
right.
to make such
A
a
generalization.
comment.
Mhm.
Yes. I was really yes, I am on the African American dysphoria, but you are assuming that I am this and you, you're very wrong.
Right,
Like
right.
there's a melting pot when you look at my lineage and like that's just wrong and it's
Yeah.
rude because I feel like you are the way it was written kind of excluded Caribbean and
Mhm.
all the other makeups that I come it kind
Right.
of excluded all of that and I was annoyed with that. And I think that's another thing that's problematic in writing. Kind of like when you get the edit saying that we don't blush.
Right. Oh,
We have multiple tones
heard
and
that one.
hues. We
Yes.
come from different places when
Yeah.
there's different things about us that create different reactions in different people. You can see I kinda have, like, yellowy tones right now, but that's because
Mhm.
of the MAC that I'm using. But if I didn't have my makeup on, there's a blush. My husband knows how to make me blush.
I do. I
So
I
so
do. My
so
face
cut it
is
out.
very red.
Cut it out. Yes, there are those of us who don't have enough of the tone for you to see the
Yep.
change in pigmentation, but that is not a
Across the
everyone
board thing. And even
thing.
like with the hair, like, I said, like, nobody's trying to get in the shower and like what, but it's like we come with all different types of textures of hair. There are black women that can do that. I'm not one of them, but there are black women that can do that. There are black women that, can wear like their natural hair is like the tight coils and it's really thick and beautiful
And
and
it depends
long.
on the time in our life as well, because what I could
When you
do
get
in my
older,
teens with
right.
my hair is
Mhm.
not what I can do with my hair now. The
Oh,
older we get, the texture changes,
absolutely.
hormones, pregnancies, all of that changes our texture.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
like, we're complex, very complex. So you
Exactly.
just can't generalize everything
Yeah.
about us. And I think that's where the conversation of immersing yourself in a culture comes from. We're
Mhm.
not saying it to be bratty or to,
No, it's
we're
like,
not complaining. We're telling you
get it
that we're
right.
different. And if you want
Yeah.
to talk about me, you should experience me
Yeah,
and
get it
not
right.
speak out of
Turn and out
absolutely
of
no experience,
yeah.
not even
Absolutely.
trying. Like, 'cause
Absolutely.
sometimes it's just a phone call. Just like you say, "Oh, I have black friends, so I'm not racist." Call that black
Yeah,
friend. Ask some questions.
that's
Like,
what you said. I'm like, "Call them then.
yeah, if that's your friend, call
Conversation.
them. Ask some
Conversation."
questions because I'm quite sure her mama's hair isn't the same as her Titi's hair, so she can give
Absolutely.
you a outlook of the different people around her.
Yep.
And don't assume that just because someone is black, they had the experience of all black people because we grow up
Absolutely.
in different places and have. I can code switch like a mother lover. You want to
Oh
know why? Because my mother moved me from private school to public school, from New York to West Virginia. I've lived in
my
different
god.
places,
Me and you
been
are the
among
same
different
people.
people. I chose to go to a Jewish college because
Mhm.
I wanted to know what was going on there, not in my community where I grew up and experienced, and I know those books because I'm a reader, and
Yeah,
my mother was an educator, therefore, I have an educational background. I wanted to know, what are you teaching your kids? What can I glean from what you're
yeah,
teaching your children? So, that was my choice. I know other people are like, "Well, I wanted to be HBCU for my community." I get that. I understand that, but I've been here all my life. I wanna know what's going on there so I can come back and tell you, "Hey, you might need to know this."
and it's
You
like
know what I'm saying?
for
Like,
me, it was like, I mean, I swear it's like we grew up the same because, I went to, like, Catholic schools for so many years, and then I did my last 2 years in public school. But being in Catholic school, especially, like, in high school, I was one of very few, and so when it came time to pick college, like choose a college, I chose an HBCU because I had spent so many years where I was one of few, a
and
lot.
that makes sense.
So yeah, and so I wanted to experience an HBCU. But the thing is, like, it's you don't being there doesn't mean that you can't experience anything else because I
Right.
also spent a year in college with in a predominantly white school, like, so, and then went and then came back to an HBCU. So it's, and my mother made sure, she made sure that we were always involved in activities where there was of I mean the culture there was of everybody represented, because
Yes.
you need to be able to get along with everybody in this world,
Yes.
because you will not only be with one group of people if you live in this world, and you need to be able to relate, to talk, to understand, even if you don't like a person, to be polite. You need to be able to navigate this world that is not just one group of people. And we would be enrolled in everything from ballet to cheerleading to gymnastics. Like, she made sure, dance teams, like she absolutely made
I
sure, and
think that
I
is
so
the best
appreciated.
way to be raised. That just gives you such a cultural
Yes.
palette, and the Black brothers came from a Irish family. That was my best friend. She was the only sister, and they were like 7 I think it was about 7 brothers.
Yeah.
And, like, they were so cool. They had moved down there from New York, from New York, and like, they cursed like sailors. So
Oh,
so
it's
when I created that series, it really came from being in their home,
yeah,
being around them. Like, that's where you're getting your influence from to
yeah,
write different characters. Because you can look at this from the flip side and say, "Well, how can you write multicultural, interracial books and you're not white?" Okay, but we've been immersed in your world,
I have, I'm like, that is,
forever.
to me, that is such like a tone deaf question to ask, because forever, that's all we've read, because that's all we
Ask
have.
me some of my favorite movies. Oklahoma, Annie,
Breakfast
Seven
Club.
Brides for Seven Brothers, Kissing Cousins. Do any of those sound black to
No,
you?
none of them were black, but then look at all the romances we read, like, while we were growing up, like Joanna
Danielle Still.
Lindsay, like, none of them, like Joanna Lindsay, Julie Garwood, love Julie Garwood, though, and Joanna Lindsay. None of their characters were black. Linda, like, the first book that I can remember reading, like a romance book, and it was romance, but it was like thriller, Sandra Brown. And I remember distinctly, because this is before I first got my hands on like a Beverly Jenkins book and a Brenda Jackson book. Um, I remember the book because it was the first time I saw a black woman in the book. She was a side character, but she was a supermodel. And I think it was like French Silk or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, you know?
Remember what was it? Girl Talk and Babysitters Club. The Girl
Yes,
Talk
I
books,
love
they would send you
babysitters.
3
Both of them. Like both
they
of
would
them.
send you 3 in my mother subscribed to it, and they would send you 3 in the box.
Yep.
And I don't even think she was black. I think she was Asian.
And
But I was
Babysitters Club,
so no,
excited.
the Girl Talk ones. I
Oh,
was
okay.
so excited to
Yes,
see that
yes,
girl on that
ma'am.
cover
Yes, ma'am.
because it was different.
It was
And it
different.
was like, well, if she can be included, then I can be included. Like,
Right. We got excited when we saw anybody that was different because we were so used to seeing just white characters. and because that's all
Girl,
that's
now the way I roll my eyes.
yeah, I
Like, come on.
when people say that, I'm like, "Are you kidding
That's the
me?"
same that's the same plastic version of every book has the same
Every
you
book
couldn't think of nothing else.
that's all
Like,
I've read. You mean I could write that in my sleep. What?
I wouldn't even I
Kidding
wouldn't
me.
even taken it if she had dark hair and some other type of like
Yeah, we were hungry for it. I remember the first time I read, a Beverly Jenkins book because, before then, of course, I had, read, books that maybe 1 or 2, but they were always side characters. But then I was working at the bank, and I went back to, like, another department to pick up some tickets, and it was like the department was, like, full of Black women, and they found out that I read romance, and it was like, "Have you read Beverly Jenkins?" I'm like, "No, I haven't." Girl, they just, like, gave me, like, 2 of her books, and it was Black people on the cover. It was their
oh,
story. I'm like, it,
yay.
like, opened up the door for me, like, "Oh my god." And,
For
so
me, I
that
think oh, sorry.
oh, no, go ahead, like, that was the first time.
For me, I think, my gateway into Black character romance was I wanna say Fly Girl.
Who was that by? Who's that?
Um, I wanna say Eric Jerome Dickey,
Oh my god, I used to read Eric Jerome Dickey. Yes.
or I might be mixing the 2 male authors up. I right now I can see
Yeah,
the
I
I can
used
see it in my head, but I can't, hold on, let me try to pull it up on my phone.
and it's like, I used to read him too because I I just couldn't he had, like, characters that looked like me, but they weren't his books. While I liked his books, they weren't the romance that I grew up on and
Right.
that I
I'm gonna
love.
tell you where that went wrong for me. Because I fell down that whole rabbit hole because that was
Yeah,
all my cousins, read were the urban
right, right.
romances. Um, so what happened was I grew up in even though I have a eclectic background, my base is no, I am wrong. I knew it. It's, Omar Tyree
Oh, I
wrote
read
Fly
him
Girl.
too. I read him too.
So
Yeah,
what
oh my
happened
god, I
was
haven't heard that in a long time.
my base is the hood. I grew up in the hood, um, project baby, whatever.
Mhm.
So, as I started being introduced to Catholic school, on the outer skirts and then going to West Virginia where it's a whole different community,
Oh, I've been there.
um,
Spent 2 weeks there.
it's like I'm not seeing reality in these books anymore, or at times it's too much reality.
Yeah,
I don't I don't wanna read about the drug dealers 'cause I'm tired of them, tired of seeing them.
yeah,
I'm living that, so I don't wanna read that. For me, reading is an escape. I did not want to escape into what I was already going through. Not being able to just sit outside and chill without having kids coming by wanting to fight. I wanted out of that. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
I so it was like, what else y'all got for me?"
yeah.
So that's what kind of turned me off of reading that so much because it was too much of a reality for me. I think I probably could go back and start reading those books again
I
now.
I
I haven't
have,
tried yet.
yeah. If you want some
I don't have
suggestions,
time.
let me hook you up.
Oh, yes, we can get some suggestions
Yes.
because sometimes I need to find a pocket just to breathe. I'm trying to get better at that.
I
That is a big problem for
It
me.
is my only pockets to breathe lately, and, like, I didn't read urban romance for and maybe it's the same reason because I used to read all those books, but then for years, I didn't. But the last year and a half, I mean, honestly, it's all I've been reading, and I have found some really of my favorite new to me authors in that genre, and I mean, because to me, it's like people took dark romance urban fiction romance writers were writing it long before dark romance became a thing. It is it
That
like
and
they were writing it
when you
long
say
before
dark
it is.
romance, what's your definition for dark
I mean, like
romance?
for
Because I
me,
know I
dark
have a different
romance
one from some people.
it's like and this is just me, but because I know there are some books in dark romance that really, really push the envelope that I'm not going, like I just can't, just for me. But it's like
Mhm.
this it takes the standards of what we say are like you can't do, and they take it and they push the envelope. Like if you can't
Okay.
have a hero who's a serial killer, damn that, yes you can. Like,
Okay, okay, so
or
you believe in
something.
the same definition as I do. Okay, right,
Yeah,
right.
like you're
The
pushing
morally gray
down.
characters.
I love myself a morally gray anti-hero. Like the more morally gray he is, I'm probably going to love him. And it's some people might find it toxic. And I'm not talking abusive, like, but
Yeah,
it's not a
you're not
toxic
disrespecting or
romance.
defiling me,
No, no,
but
no, no. Everybody's in agreement.
if you're willing to, touch her and cheat and you die, I'm
Yeah,
okay with
right.
that.
I'm
Like,
not,
what
you take a hand.
yeah.
I tell people like kidnapping is my love language.
And that was where I found myself bumping heads with traditional because I'll put a
Yes.
tracker on a heifer in a heartbeat. Like where you going? Edited and she couldn't get with it. I was like, what
I
do you mean?
know. I
That's
know. That's
my
why
husband will pull out a phone and find me. What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean?
exactly.
We all walk around with trackers. How is this a problem? Are you for real? Like,
Just
this man is meant to protect me. He needs to know where I am at all
listen.
times.
Like
The trackers are okay.
I was reading a book where a guy just disrespected, like didn't even, not even to her face, but he said something disrespectful about his woman in his presence. Neck snapped. I was like, but he's protective.
Sounds like
Sounds
somebody
like
I
a
mess with.
winner. It
Like,
sounds like a
if
winner.
you can't, what are we doing here? If you not about to do this,
If
like,
you're not about to go hard, go home. Go home.
I'm not
And
gonna
to
say
me,
who the relationship was because I don't want to incriminate anybody that I might care about. But but someone has called me out my name, and best believe, they got chased down with a shovel, and no one could stop them to keep them from harming this person. Like my dad is not a small person. He has to
yeah,
be like maybe 250 pounds, 6'2". So,
tall guy.
and this particular protector wasn't that tall and kind of flung my dad like a potato chip. And all the other hood dudes that was trying to stop him from beating the ish out this guy, they kind of was like, what just happened?
I
Like, I don't mind a man that don't play about me.
I
Catch on,
listen.
catch on, don't
Thank
do it.
you. And to
That's all
me,
we
it's
date.
like
Why is
people
he
are.
here if he's not doing this?
Is he? If he's not doing it, what is he doing? Like, is he really, really that? Is he going that hard
What
for
good
you?
is he for?
Really? It's to me, it's in his job description. Like it's
Thank you.
and to
Thank
me,
you.
like urban romance has been doing this forever.
Yes.
But now we're
Yes.
putting like, dark romance on it. Nah, they've been doing it. They've been doing it. And I love dark romance. So like these books are just like they're giving me life. They really are. So I those are the romances I love. But